Quite a morning already. All these serious clouds, result of contrails, chemtrails, whatever you want to call them, that were flown out earlier today. So the Southwest flight shuttling off to the southwest. He's not leaving a trail, but he's way too low to be regular commercial traffic. A bit of a sundog happening there. You can see just how wispy and fine the trails have become. You know, if it weren't so nefarious in their activities, it'd almost be beautiful. But the clouds of the trails have really become clouds. This is a very curious geometry in this cumulus. Look at this spike up here, hole, just some straight lines that should not be there in an inside cumulus. But off to the south, you can continue to see they're trailing in, filling in. Here's another fresh guy. Let's see if we can't zoom into him and see whose paint scheme he is flying. Most of them are 737s. Again, it's the Southwest. I wonder what these airlines have had to do or been put through to succumb to these activities. This is not something of their own volition, something they've likely been forced into doing, and the pilots have been stamped on, and who knows how many airline crashes they've suffered through because they did not want to participate in these programs, but yet really didn't have a choice if they wanted to stay into business. See this plane here, the one that we're just flying through this cloud, this dark thing here, bright zone there, and he's run right across the heart of it. Then he's intersecting this one here. Just looks like he's going to hit this outer, this most western dark zone. Yeah, he's in it right now. Little bright spot inside that. So there's these geometries, these bright and dark zones, these nodes and anodes, I don't know what you want to call them, but they're geometric shapes that the planes are very interested in. And this is the primary reason for the intent behind the chemtrails. See the powders on this one are displaced upward as they are on this one. So some kind of lift is happening in the atmosphere. Lift, so the powders are being lifted up. And when you get on the other side, it often tends to be down, the puffs are displaced downward. Look at this seam. All of the geometry, you can see the little cross hatches that the planes of, well, let's just say the geometry of the energy that's in the atmosphere have attached to. I'm hearing another plane. Another Southwest. I'm going to get back in the shade here so I can see the screen. See? So, Southwest, at least here in the desert Southwest, Southwest United and Allegiant paint schemes are all being used to disguise these activities so the uninformed don't think that there's anything different. And that has been going on for so long, that most of the younger generation has never seen skies without this, or at least those people that are under 30 years old. I'm going to come back into here, this spot that we were looking at earlier. See the powders are now displaced downward. Down, through the cloud anomaly. And then the powders are displaced upward. Up, break. So there's some energetic phenomena, natural or unnatural. I'm going to leave that open, because there's processes that the planet is going through that are not well understood, and certainly some that are not yet accepted by mainstream meteorology, that these planes and these people are aware of. There's another one paralleling this other trail. And so, it's my opinion that that's what they're measuring and quantifying with these powders. Are these unusual meteorological phenomena, natural or unnatural? Alright, we'll see how the day unfolds. I just keep flying. Just keep flying. This trail's not sticking so much. There's still some bright spots in it. You can see what the previous trails have done. Just become these cirrus. This is seams in these cirrus clouds are very interesting. Very curious how these seams come together. What energetically is causing this folding or brightening? Just find that curious. And a little bright sundog. All these optical solar phenomena showing up. This highly resonated atmosphere and this abundance of nucleated ice crystals in the sky. It's one of the things the contrails do is put an abundance of condensation nuclei into the atmosphere around which these ice crystals can form. And so when we have these chemtrail days, we see all of these kind of optical things going on. This is curious here. And then our trails kind of fading away. Nevertheless, there's something there that he's interested in. Bottom seam here, crossing this one here, and there's something happening right in here that he was interested in. Plane here, prop job. King Air maybe. Beechcraft King Air. But he's not part of the program, he's just a pilot up there that gets to look and see at all of this is going on. And here's the other part of the trail that we just watched. And it's in here. The trail fades. That was probably one of the marks or locations they were interested in. We have a bump here. And then it brightens off to the east. These thick chemtrails are still being flown. See, this is one of those probably full wingspan jobs. Kind of getting away from me here in the distance, but nevertheless you can see it has become a rather persistent. Look at all those powders. All those powders coming off. So what was he interested in this flight? A little brightening spot there. But more than likely, you can see how this zone, this is one of his areas of interest. And then right here, you can see how the trail right in through here is much, much brighter. So it's like the trail's getting squished or disturbed in some way right at that zone. See, the other cloud comes in here, over, and then back this way. So it makes this broad S with this straight line that he runs perpendicular to. Opening here, comes out the other side of the phenomena there. And then the trail really remains persistent as it continues off to the east. Another something going on there, right here. So there's never a flight that isn't flown without a purpose. There's always an intention. The clouds are coming up this way, come across this axis here, and then they stripped out this way. So there's some boundary, some front, if you will, although it's not a traditional warm front, cold front, stationary front, some kind of energetic front right there that they flew through. And the one up here is not that different. It comes down across this axis, and then the ice crystals are flown off this particular way. So there's some energetic boundary, something there that the planes were interested in, and it's subtle enough, but profound enough to be worthy of a flight. And I hear another plane. There's our halo. See if I can't spot this guy. This is curious, right there. It's like what they term a fall streak cloud, but there's something more energetic than just that. I'm gonna turn it off and see if I can find this cloud. There's a plane. Oh, and he just starts trailing. Just started. Bright. Let's come in and look at this guy. Doesn't look like he's doing a lot of trailing, but you know, once you step back, you can see that there are all these little bright spots. That's data. That's data. These chemical mixtures then mix, if you will. That's giving them information as to what the atmosphere is doing. This border right here in the high clouds, beyond this point, the chemtrail persists. Got a little knot here where it's slightly compressed. Something as subtle is happening there. A bit of a shadow coming out this side. Since the plane is flying almost into the sun. And then this set of 3 ripples here, you can kind of see the trail came in and crossed through the center of. So this guy was one of his targets of interest. It was right through the center of this. And now he's back over the horizon. But this is the center. This is the bright spot right here. We'll see how this deforms. Other planes will probably come along and be interested in this spot as well. And that'll probably happen within the next 2 to 5 minutes. Alright, more trails. He's interested in this gap here, especially this spot here. We'll look at that a little closer in a sec. I'm going to come on him and follow him up. Now, so I've lost him once he got into here. He kind of quit trailing. Come out and see that they've come out from the east, working west. But these 2 trails have outlined this previous trail and this phenomenon here is largely what they're interested in. Farther to the west, got another trail here, cross trail here, and then you can see a trail coming in here, but it only extends as far as the cross one here, and then it comes in. Actually, earlier it bent off towards the left or towards the south. And now I'm hearing another plane. Looks like he's coming in here. There's probably another one because I'm hearing him from behind me. Turn off and find him. He's up in here. Not seeing them through the viewfinder yet. Yeah, there's another plane. There he is, there he is, there he is, there he is, there he is. Almost looks like a Gulf Stream. Almost. He was just leaving a bit of a trail. But he's another chemtrail plane. He was interested in, or just crossed through. He's leaving the slightest of trail, this dark spot. See now how he will cross this one, right where it begins to gap. And once he gets on the other side of this environment, his trail starts to stick. See? Geometry. Geometry, geometry, geometry. So that little business jet that just flew through that looked like a little Gulf Stream, this was its knot. This is what it left, and this is how its trail deformed in this little energetic environment, creating this little knot inside this darkening zone. That was its intent or purpose. Again, all of these skies would be blue had it not been for today's trailing. Theft of sunshine, impacting the ability of plants to pull in this energy, photovoltaics to deliver alternative energy. There's this insidious agenda. Insidious. And you know, I think it's time for us to have our planet back. It's time for humanity to finally be in charge of its own destiny. That's what I would like to see. Is humanity back in charge of its destiny, because our government has been hijacked. Entirely hijacked. And right now the people are so blind to see it. So blind. It's time to wake up, people. It's time to wake up.